Trigger warning: if you cannot handle the truth, then don't watch my videos. This is going to be about race mixing. I did a video on this a long time ago, but I deleted it. But I need to talk about it now because people are not honest about it. And I am mixed race, black and white. So I know the subject all too well. And I've had patients, and I will get into all that are mixed, that had a rough time. I'm an older lady. I have poor health. My voice is hoarse, so please excuse that. But it's something that has always been an issue, and just so many people my age and older have had issues with it as well. First of all, when I was younger, I wanted just to be black. I love the black race. I love the culture. I love the unity. We weren't acting like imbeciles back then. It was good when I was really young. You know, you could walk the streets and not worry about being abducted. You could go to your neighbor's house. The community was just so tight back then. But now black people have been so whitewashed and they've lost themselves. People are so ghetto now. You know, black people used to talk proper. Now they use this Ebonics crap. They don't want education. Black people lost their lives for black people to have education. They lost their lives for black people to vote. And these idiots are not doing it. Why wouldn't you want to vote? Why wouldn't you want to have education? Black people always say, oh, we can't get ahead. We can't do this. We can't do that. Yes, I'm going to say straight up, black people, they do have a little going against them because there's always going to be prejudice. Always. Never going to change. No matter how integrated we are, better, more mixed and everything, you're always going to have that foundation of prejudice. That's never going to change. So yes, black people are held back some, but they bring it on themselves. Black people are the most stereotyped people besides Latinos because they act stupid. Totally stupid. If you're triggered, you can't handle the truth, I don't give a crap. Don't watch my video. Black people used to not talk with all this stupid slang. They spoke regular English. Black people used to want to vote. They used to want to be educated. That's not the case now. They use their circumstances as an excuse for not bettering themselves. People in low income keep perpetuating the type of poor life, poor values, talking ignorant and not wanting to be educated. So black people are never going to get on top of the food chain because they keep perpetuating the ignorance from generation to generation. I admired all those black people, Martin Luther King and just others that fought for us. People back, I see documentaries, they did not act like the black people of today. As I said, and I've said it so many times now, they cared about their education. They cared about trying to have a better life. Now back then things were segregated, so they really had a hard time. But we are in 2023, and there is no excuse not to better yourself. There is no excuse. There is no excuse not to speak correct English, not to get an education. There is no excuse. If more black people would do that, they would get ahead. Now let me talk more about the race mixing. The thing that used to bother me, it started, I think, more once I got to the high school age. You started seeing more race mixing. And you would see these fine-looking brothers chasing after the most skanky, disease-ridden, ugly, super obese white women. And they would put these women on a pedestal. No matter how skanky, trashy they were, they would put them on a pedestal. But yet a sister that, had a good education, talking good, had something going for her, they wouldn't give her the time of day. Also noticed that black people would talk to white women differently. When they were approaching a black woman, oh, hey, shorty, how you doing? All that stupid crap. White woman, hello, how are you? They might use a little bit of slang because they still spoke that stupid way, but it was a complete difference in how they approached the white woman and how they approached the black woman. They showed the white woman girl more respect than the black person. And that's so sad because black women are strong. As I said, our race has gone downhill now, but there's still a lot of good black women. And now what I'm seeing as I'm older, that you have like the trashiest of black people with the trashiest of white people, and then they're having a trashy mixed child. And when I was dealing with my psych patients, adults and teens, there weren't a lot of just straight up black people on the units. When you saw someone black, they were usually mixed because they had been so screwed up, not only from society treating them different, but because they had white trash mother and a ghetto black father. Being biracial is bad enough, and I regret marrying a white guy. I wish I would have married a black man and had kids. Growing up for me, I had blonde hair. You could tell I was mixed a little back when I was younger. When I was a baby, my skin was just pure white and I had pure blonde hair. So I looked white. As I got older, I was still light. There wasn't a lot of mixing then, so I was kind of like a rarity, a novelty. People used to tell me I was adopted because my mother was brown skin. And I didn't fit in with the black people completely because they thought I was too white looking, and I didn't talk all that nonsense. And then I didn't fit in with the white people because, I wasn't white enough. So I never felt like I belonged. Never, ever. And that's a bad feeling, to never feel like you belong. And that's what happens. I don't know if it's better now. I'm thinking it is, because seeing a mixed person nowadays is just normal. But back when I was younger, it was not normal. So I just did not belong. I gravitated more to the black race then because I enjoyed the music. Well, I'll say I gravitated more to the black race in 7th grade when I met a black girl and we became friends. Before that, I was more gravitational to the white race because I did a lot of things that, white people did. I did tap dancing, ballet, gymnastics, and just a lot of other things. But when I started having some black friends, I just enjoyed the music, the dancing, and everything. I just enjoyed the culture. I always enjoyed the food. But I still was never accepted fully in either race. And I had one friend in high school. She was a gorgeous mixed girl, stunning, just absolutely stunning. And the black girls just hated her because she was so beautiful. They would spray shaving cream on her and all this other crap. And she was the sweetest person on earth. She was not a conceited person. She could have been conceited as hell, as good as she looked, but she wasn't. And she was religious and just a good person. And she had to leave the school because of it. You know, it's a shame how much there is. The racism against black people is just as bad as white people hating black people. The color thing is huge, and it still is. Dark and light. It's just stupid. But it started back in slavery. The light-skinned person was the house person. The black, dark-skinned people were in the field. White people continue to perpetuate that. Look at all the commercials, all the ads. Excuse me. The first television roles. All these people and all the singers that, used to be back in the segregated times, like Lena Horne and all that, were all light-skinned, and most of them were mixed. So it always showed the light-skinned person being on a higher level than the dark-skinned person. And so all this self-hatred among the light-skinned and dark-skinned people continue to perpetuate. I always thought dark was beautiful. I wanted to be dark. Dark-skinned people age really good. The melanin protects your skin so you do not wrinkle as bad. I have seen some sexy as hell men in their 60s and 70s. No wrinkles, nothing. Like they said, black don't crack. So black people need to love themselves. And they got hatred too. I've seen so many documentaries where dark-skinned people said how they were called coons and darkness and all this stuff growing up. So yes, dark-skinned people had it just as bad as the light-skinned people. But it's just still a continuing thing. On YouTube, there's videos that say team light skin, team dark skin. It's ridiculous. Now, and I want to go back to the emphasis. Black men, get some balls. Learn to stop hating yourself and going after these nasty white trash women. Now, if you're ghetto, and you want to live that lifestyle, knock yourself out. But decent black men, find a decent black woman. Stop putting these white women on pedestals. They're no better. Find a decent woman that matches your character, matches your level, matches what you want to be. It's ridiculous. Because I've seen so many black men that get a white woman just to say they have a white woman. And then your kids pay for it. As I started getting older, now that I'm getting older, I actually am light enough to where I pass. I have good hair. And I pass. Most people think I'm white. And there is a thing such as light skin privilege. I have seen how black people are followed around in stores. I was with my nephew one day, and I kid you not, I think we went to 3 places. 2 of the places, he was followed around, blatantly, obviously. And it's like, I don't understand how people deal with that, being followed, thinking you're a thief constantly. I couldn't do that. I would just flip out and just have to curse somebody out, and then them getting pulled over and having to be scared that the police officer's going to kill them. Look at all of these stories now. George Floyd was just heartbreaking. And I can't think of the guy's name off the top of my head. That was recent, where they beat him and said he was violating the speed limit or something. I haven't slept, so I can't think. But it's terrible to have that fear. I've never had that fear of police. I don't have to because I'm light skinned. I look white. I don't have that fear. I have the privilege of being able to go in Cartier, you know, any type of, department store like Nordstrom or Saks Fifth Avenue, Bloomingdale's, without being followed. I have the privilege of being treated good when, I'm trying to get help. I just have had light skin privilege, and it is a thing. And then I see how other black people are treated, not like me. Just like my kids, two look white, one actually looks Hispanic. He was treated completely different from the other two. Society has it ingrained to treat black people less than, to treat brown people less than. And that's how it is. And white people, you might say, oh, this is bullshit. You haven't experienced it because you have white skin privilege. You have not experienced it, and you don't know anything about it. It's real and it's sickening. And if I'll take another example. When I was in elementary school, I had good grades. I was trying to get into the gifted and talented program, and they denied me because I overheard them saying when they were talking about it, they already had their one token in the group. So, that was probably the worst and only true prejudicial experience I've had. But I have had light skin privilege, and it's just a fact. And if you are not mixed and you are not black or you're not brown, you cannot speak on it because you haven't experienced it. I have not experienced what a true black woman goes through because I have light skin privilege. I don't consider myself white. I don't consider myself black. I consider myself biracial or mixed. That rule of one drop of black blood, that's bullshit. I don't abide by it. It should be something that politicians talk about so that, legal forms and everything can have mixed people in their own category. Because you should not ask a biracial or mixed person to choose one race over the other. They're just as much white as they are black. Even if their skin color is darker. If they are half black, half white, they are half black, half white. They are not black. That is something that needs to be changed. And I use my color to my advantage. If it's better for me to be black, I'm black. If it's better for me to be white, I'm white. I would be stupid not to use my color to my advantage. People don't talk about this stuff, but it's true. It's on a lot of people's minds, but they don't have the balls to say it. But I do. So, black people, stop the stupidity of talking ignorant, not speaking plain English. Stop the stupidity of not voting. Stop the stupidity of not trying to get higher education. In this day and age, if you are not doing these things, you are keeping your own self down. White people are not keeping you down. Black men, stop getting these white women just because they're white. They are not trophies. Look at all the beautiful black women that are out there. A white woman is no better than a black woman, and you hate yourself and you hate your race if you pick a white woman just because they are white. And then there's one more topic. I think I'll do a separate video about this because this video is already longer than I had intended. So I'm going to do another video that's going to be another trigger one for you. But anyway, thanks for listening to this video. If you're triggered, too bad. I just speak the truth because I have experienced it. So thanks for watching this video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and stop being politically correct. Speak your truth.